Well, hello, church family. This is Pastor Matt, and I was going to go live on Facebook and YouTube, but it would have been logistically kind of hard. And so, what I'm going to do is just record a Bible challenge for you here this morning. And I tell you, the last 12 hours or so are frustrating to me, honestly. I'm let me just put it this way: there's nothing like gathering as a church family, okay? And we only have so many Sundays, right? Let me silence my phone over here. We only have so many Sundays in the year to gather, and anyways, there was just a lot of things came together this morning, and spent a lot of time in prayer early this morning. I talked with some people. Anyway, we ended up canceling the service today, and I feel bad. I don't want to do this. It's like, you think of weather impacting closings and that, and our family has a cold, and as far as I know, that's all it is. But anyways, we're just a lot of things came together this morning that we ended up canceling. So I'm gonna just put that aside for now, and I wanted to share one verse with us this morning. This is I had a message ready for preaching in Mark chapter 6. Was looking forward. I was really excited. I've been praying this week and just diving into the passage there in Mark chapter 6, and it's been a blessing to me to go through the Gospel of Mark kind of sequentially and see the life of Christ. I was really excited about the message this morning, but we'll save that for next week. But read this verse this morning in Proverbs chapter 14, and I just wanted to give us a very simple, quick challenge. I'm really not feeling that great here this morning, and so I just wanted to give you something to chew on this week, okay? Proverbs chapter 14 and verse number 4. Scripture says, "Where no oxen are, the crib is clean, but much increase is by the strength of an ox." And I was just looking at this verse today, earlier this morning, and that word crib is literally the feeding trough. And so, where there's no oxen, the feeding trough is clean. And we think about life, and sometimes we like things to be tidy. We like things to be in order. We like things to be in its place. I remember a saying I heard early on in my ministry from a dear lady in the church who was very organized, and she said, "A place for everything and everything in its place." And even as we have had children now for the last 8 years or so of our marriage, we like to have a place for everything and everything in its place, but that doesn't always correlate well with children, and yeah, we train them and to pick up their toys and all those things. But I was thinking of this verse that where there's no oxen, the crib is clean. We would think, wow, that's great. We want a clean place. We want a clean house. We want things to be organized. Excuse me. But if that's the only goal, no work gets done. And that's kind of the point of the verse as I see it there, Proverbs 14:4. Because it goes on and says, "But much increase is the strength of an ox." It's one thing to have a clean feeding trough, but that means the ox isn't eating. And if the ox isn't eating, the ox isn't working. If the ox isn't working, he's not getting the job done that you need it to for your family to make it and survive. And whatever that ox is used for, plowing and whatever agricultural means that they used in the Bible days. And to me, it kind of shows priority, right? it's one thing to have priorities that are, close to us, and it's another thing for priorities that are good. You know, it's one thing to have a clean house. It's another thing to have ministry to people, right? And I'll tell you, sometimes you think about a barn, you think about the messiness of having cattle and oxen and the grossness. All right, we don't need to get into details on that. But in ministry, and we've been talking on Sundays in Mark about Christ's ministry. Um, Sometimes I don't like to use this, but it is somewhat true that messy or ministry can be messy. When we're helping people, we're serving people, we're dealing with people, and it can get messy um, because they need help, and life happens, and choices are made, and life gets messy. And those of us that are concerned for people, helping people with their mess, and figure out how to go forward with it. And if we always want everything to be structured and in plan and in place, and we might be missing out on ministry, right? Even last week in the message about the feeding of the 5,000 and the inconvenience it was to have all these people come, and who knows all the logistics. I mean, there was more than just the food, the logistics of having all this take place. And you think, why? What's the point? Is it worth it? And all the things that can go through the mind as we minister. And I just want to encourage us this week to remember that it's really not about us. And yes, it's good to be in order, and everything should be done decently and in order in ministry. And Christ even exemplified that, as we looked at last week, with the feeding of the 5,000, sitting them in companies, and 50, hundreds, and there was organization to it. But at the end of the day, it was about ministry, ministering to people. And so just a challenge to us to chew on this week. Do we want a clean feeding trough, or do we want a fed oxen that is going to go out and do what is accomplished, or the purpose of what it's there to do? And so I don't know how the Lord might apply that in your life, in your situation, and what you're going through. But it was a challenge to me to think of through. Sometimes we want everything neat and orderly, and we neglect the messiness of ministry sometimes. And so may the Lord help us with that and encourage us. Again, I just want to say that I'm sorry we're not meeting today. I really do miss you all, and I mean that. And I've been praying for you. I went to bed last night trying to get to sleep in that. Just praying for the church family. Woke up, was praying about the message still, and for you. And I will continue to do that today with some time that we have, just praying for our church family. And I just want to encourage you to encourage each other. Even today, find a way to encourage somebody. I know many of you probably got a call from one of the deacons to let you know about the change of service today. And I hope that there was a little encouragement there to you as well. But reach out to someone today, encourage them. Reach out to someone this week. I'm looking forward to the message. Even we'll postpone it till next week, but there's a time to reach out, and may God help us this week in reaching out, even when it can get kind of messy when we work in ministry. So I'm going to leave it at that. I love you all, and I'm really dreading that we didn't meet today. It was a very difficult decision. Our kids are doing fine. They have a cold, and they were just up all night hacking, and I was up coughing up. Anyway, we won't go into details on all that, but thankful for my wife and her patience and love for our kids, but I just came in this morning when we decided to cancel, and wanted to get all the details for everybody to let you know. So sometimes the Lord has other plans and providentially hinders us. I don't want this, right? But I love you all, and praying for you this week. And hopefully we can gather again next week. And it feels like a snow day without any snow. I would love the snow. We have a little rain. I'm looking out my window. There's a little rain coming down. So we'll call it a rainy day, I guess. But love you all. And if I can pray for you in any specific way, or there's something that you say, Pastor Matt, yeah, I've kind of been neglecting the messiness of ministry, not reaching out to people. And let me know if there's something I can pray for you specifically about. But we will talk to you soon. And if I have any more updates going forward, I sent out an email this morning to our church family, and there were some announcements on there. I won't take time now to go through those, but if you did not get that email and would like to know announcements, please let me know. You can call me, text me, send an email, and I'll get that to you. Excuse me. But I do want to say this. Saturday at 10 o'clock, we're planning to hand out some flyers promoting our Sunday school and bus ministry, especially for the children, but really reaching families is our goal. And we could use some help. So this Saturday, October 30th, 10 o'clock, just come and we'll have flyers ready and basically just knocking on some doors and inviting folks to church. Most of the areas we're going to hit are here close to the church. And we'd love to see our bus ministry grow. I'd just love to see our church grow and have opportunity to share the love of Christ with people, see them come and get saved and baptized and added to the church. Be wonderful. So hopefully if you're able to, this Saturday at 10 o'clock, again, we could use some help and would appreciate it. Love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon, Lord willing. God bless you, and we'll see you.